Hey, this is Milt Reader, coming to you from Rear Window Studio in beautiful downtown Brookline, Boston, Mass. And we're going to talk about the heart of the feel, rhythm guitar. And it's really a lineage of rhythm guitar from players back in the 1930s and before, right up through modern times. And I'd like to say, we're dropping a few signposts along the way. So we're starting out with Django, and take the rhythm guitar right on up through Keef, and beyond, and it is, I'd like to suggest, a lineage. There are connections, there are links between the players that were the masters and were and are the masters of this art. But more importantly than that, I want to suggest that rhythm guitar really is the heart of the feel when you're playing songs. And as Dan Hicks, late great Dan Hicks, used to say, they're just songs, folks, one on the next. Thank you. So that's what if you look at a song, you can get rid of the guitar solo and it's still a song. So guitar solos are great, and we love our great soloists, and we're all, learning how to shred and play, the most soulful kind of stuff we can do in leads. But the song lives in the rhythm. If you see a song on the page, the rhythm is right there. You've got some notes, and then you've got some of them are quarter notes and half notes and rests and things. And so just the melody as written suggests a rhythm. And as a guitar player, the main job is you're putting that song across. And so attention must be paid, and I think really primary attention has to be paid to what the rhythm is doing. So I want to touch on, this is going to be kind of a wide-ranging, like survey kind of thing, where by survey I don't mean that we're going to come to your house and ask you to sign a petition or something like that, but survey, like they say, survey courses in college. We're gonna hit the high points, and there'll be lots of holes, and there'll be all kinds of things left out. But I think if we concentrate on some of the really important moments, sounds, and feels, we're gonna come away with something useful. I've been playing the guitar a long time. I started whatever the day after the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan. I think that was in like February of '64. It might have been March, but anyway, next morning I was out at my local pawn shop getting a guitar for $10. I still have it, and I've been playing ever since. And that was a while ago. So I play lots of different kinds of music, and I've been in lots of different kinds of bands. From rock and roll bands and swing bands and GB bands and wedding bands, and after a while, you just get to where you're kind of looking at different styles and how they affect the music. So I like to think of a story that I heard about Django Reinhardt. It might be in one of the biographies of him. When these guys, he was in a tango band, and that's how they were making their living. And on the breaks, they would go in the back room, and he and the fiddle player would try to cop these licks that they heard on Louis Armstrong records. And so they started playing these standards from from the American Songbook, Tin Pan Alley, and which are all the great Django titles that we know today. They recorded many sides of that kind of music. But when they started doing it, Django was really frustrated because he was like, okay, when Stefan Grappelli, the violinist, is soloing, he's got me playing the rhythm guitar behind him, and I'm giving this great feel and this great rhythm, and the song is really swinging along. But when I solo, I'm on my own, So he got his brother Joseph Rheinhardt, and Joseph just did this basic 4-to-the-bar rhythm that in French they refer to as la pompe, Pompe, and it's a kind of pumping rhythm, and it's what we associate with Django, who played a guitar very much like this. This is a Selmer guitar built in Paris. Way over a half a century ago. This guitar probably spent the early years of its life on the floor of a gypsy caravan, getting stepped on by the kids. Then somebody got a case for it. Anyway, eventually I wound up with it, and Django or actually, Django played rhythm when when somebody else was soloing, or he always had brother Joseph playing. The two of them would be doing it at the same time, and there would be a very simple kind of a feel, this La Pompe thing, which was based on these chord shapes that are also very simple. As you might have seen photographs of Django, he had a terrible accident in his 20s when his left hand was scarred in a fire, and it was pretty much in this shape that you see here. He couldn't really take his fingers out of that shape. He used his first two fingers to do all his amazing lead lines. But then, with the hand still in that position, you can do some nice chord shapes. And there were mostly basically 3-note chords, that would just... You'd hear this. There's an A minor 6th chord. There's the A and the C and the F sharp. That's just 3 notes. And a lot of the gypsy tunes were in a minor key, where you'd have, let's say if it was an A minor, the main chords in the tune would be A minor, D minor, and E7, with some little passing tones in between, and that was pretty much it. I mean, the one that everybody knows is minor swing, which is just see that my fingers are barely moving at all. There's this shape, which is, we're just moving the A minor 7th up a whole step, and it is now B, G sharp, and D, which gives you an E7. And bring it up a little further and stretch it out just a tiny bit, and you've got C, A, and E on the top. And that's A minor again. So anyway, all kinds of variations, and that's one of the things we're going to do a whole thing on the on the gypsy jazz approach. But anyway, so that's that's a place where rhythm guitar was super important. And it kind of we can start from there, and then move into some other realms, and let's pause it for a second.